Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we have a way too early of a video to be like posting. But I really wanted to see if I could nail it this far out for Money in the Bank. I say too early; it's 5 weeks away. That isn't, I guess, too bad. We haven't had backlash, so there's stuff that could change from that. But we are going to decide who we think is going to win Money in the Bank. Now, I'm gonna try to get all six people that are in it. Normally, it's six. Sometimes I go to seven, but I'm gonna do my best on it and we're going to yeah, rate them the best way we can to see who will be in this match. And this is going to be difficult. I'm gonna throw this out there. I think this is going to be very very difficult. So we are going to start off. So AJ Styles, I don't think he's anywhere in the realm of possibility for this match. I could see him possibly in the match, but definitely not the winner. Tozawa, I'm gonna go with no. Aleister Black's interesting because Aleister Black has just came back, and this would be honestly one of those matches that you should put him in. I think I'll temporarily put him in my top matches. I have like a rough estimate of who I'm thinking, but like I want to start building it out from like one by one, and I have a feeling something like that could be an interesting choice by like putting Malachi Black or Aleister Black in it, and he could possibly make a decent run. I just I don't know. I don't know if I quite see that he has enough momentum yet to do that. Um, is this Alex Shelley? I think Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. I always get their names mixed up. I highly doubt much tag teams. Andrade is an interesting choice. I think he could possibly be in like the qualifying matches for it, but I just don't really see him doing it right this second. I wouldn't be surprised if they all of a sudden decided. I honestly wouldn't be like, oh, that surprised me. But I have a feeling there's a good shot that he could be in least the matches. Garza, I know they're teasing the split between him and Berto, or just both of them and Santos. So I feel like they're gonna be doing that storyline, and I don't think he's gonna have that opportunity. I think it's still tag team stuff. Angelo Dawkins, current tag champion. I don't really see them losing the tag championships between here and Money in the Bank, so I'm gonna go with no, and I'll put Montez Ford next to him. Now, if they were like solo at the moment or like not with titles, I could see Montez Ford possibly getting it, but I do believe both of them are going to be on the bench for this. Paulo Cruz, they haven't really used, so I can't imagine he even gets a match. Austin Theory is an interesting one that could give him redemption from his last one. I think he'll be in a qualifying match, but I'm going to say no. Axiom's actually a pretty decent choice. I feel like they're going to keep him and Nathan together, and I don't think it's necessarily something. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him in there, but I don't think we're going to get that. So we'll put Axiom here in the no. Berto, I don't think his push is there. I think it's in that storyline, so I'm going to go no also. Braun Strowman just got released, so that's going to be no. I just got this off the tier list website, so that's just kind of unfortunate. Braun Breaker is a very interesting choice. I'm gonna put him in the matchup here, and then I think I'll put all six up here for the match, and then I'll decide from there who wins it. But Braun Breaker's a strong case to win that because he would be very deadly with it in his new faction, and I could see something like that being a very good narrative thing that they have. Next up is Bronson Reed. I think he's still out injured, so it's going to be no. Brutus, again, tag team people probably don't get this opportunity here. It's going to be no. Carlito's not really used in this type of action. I could see him definitely getting a qualifying match. Carmelo, I think, honestly, could be an option. I would put him in there temporarily. It's also debating because he's also going to be like kind of in a feud with Aleister Black during this time, and that just might be what they're doing. Chad Gable, who was in it last year, I could see him or American El Grande Americano possibly being in it. I'll put him up there for now. Chris Sabin or Alex Shelley, because I always get those two confused. Again, no. CM Punk, I think, would be a decent choice. I do believe, I think like Punk and Rollins and stuff they might go toe to toe at Money in the Bank. So I'm probably going to go with no here. Cody Rhodes actually would be a pretty interesting choice for this. I don't know if he'll be back in the time. I don't know if they're giving him a little bit of time off. I'll put him up in no, but I'd put a pin on that there could be something there. Um, like again, more tag team people know. I couldn't even think of his name right now. I know it's Joaquin Wilds and God, I was hoping if I said the names out loud because there's Joaquin Wild and I forget their name, but they're in tag team. Damian Priest could possibly be in the title opportunity match, like of like or like being in the qualifiers, but I don't think they'd put the belt or the title thing back on him. Dexter Loomis, no. Dom has the IC title, probably still gonna have it at that time or be having a match, so it's gonna be no. Dragon Lee, honestly, could be a possibility. I'll put him up there temporarily. Drew McIntyre, honestly, hope not, just because like his storyline, he would just want to cash it in again. I want the Money in the Bank to be active for a little bit, so let's go no, no to Pretty Deadly in general. I think both of them are not going to be there. No to the War Raiders because tag team. Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, any of the Wyatt Sick haven't even got on TV, so they're not going to get any of this opportunity. Finn Balor is an interesting choice. I'd temporarily put him in my top 6 right now because his story of having it, obviously he's going to be looking at that that um that world heavyweight championship, but he would be dangerous right there to have it because Dom would feel very uneasy to have him in the group with that. Grayson Waller, no. Gunther would actually honestly be an interesting choice too, because he's been a champion this entire time, but I just don't see him not cashing in on Jey Uso instantly. So I probably go no. Ilya Dragunov is honestly one of the most perfect candidates for this, but being still injured, and even if he does come back like tomorrow, I still think they wouldn't have that build up. Maybe to put him in the match, but I still honestly don't think he's going to even be there. It's going to be a no. Jacob Fatu, U.S. champion, he's probably still going to have it, so no. JD McDonough, no, he's going to be doing Judgment Day stuff. Jey Uso is going to have it. Jimmy would be an interesting choice. I'll put him temporary up here to look at. John Cena, current champion, is going to be no. Joey Gargano, tag team, no. Same thing with Brutus. Creed, or not Brutus, Julius. Karrion Kross is honestly like maybe my fan favorite to put this in. I'll put him up there in possibly. Kofi Kingston's going to be no. LA Knight would actually be a pretty interesting choice. I'm putting a couple up there so we have a little options. Logan Paul, unfortunately, you always have to put him in that thing. I don't like Logan Paul, but having the money in the bank and the way that like he does his social media and stuff would be a very good thing for WWE. Ludwig Kaiser honestly would be a good choice too. I like Ludwig a lot. I don't think it's going to be an option here though. We got Nathan Frazier's going to be no. Almost has not been on TV. Otis is part of tag team. Penta should be in the match. Um, Pete Dunne would honestly be somebody that they could put in that match, but I think it's going to be stacked enough, so we'll put it in the no. R-Truth, no. Randy Orton, no. Ray Phoenix, I'll put him up as an option. Rey Mysterio's hurt, so no. Roman Reigns could be interesting, but he more than likely is not even going to be back until Money in the Bank. Miro could be another option. I don't think this match necessarily is his type of match to do. I could see him maybe facing Dom for the title or something during this time. Sami Zayn would be an interesting one if they haven't written him off. Santos will get a match, but he probably won't do it. Seth Rollins would be an interesting choice, but I don't think him and Braun Breaker. Sheamus will probably be a no. Shinsuke, no. Solo could be an interesting option. I'll put him up there. Tonga, no. Tongaloa, no. The Miz, no. Ciampa, no. Tyler Bate, no. And Xavier Wood, no. So we look at the other candidates. There's a couple people we can eliminate. I honestly believe that they're gonna go with some kind of like a little bit younger, a little bit more people that can do a little bit more crazy stuff. So I feel like honestly, like there's a few people that might not get the option. I'm gonna go based off of just what I think, not necessarily what I want. But I'm gonna have to put Karrion Kross down because I feel like he should be in there. I think Dragon Lee's gonna probably not be in there. Let's see. I feel like Ray Phoenix and Penta being in there, I don't really see them necessarily being either both in there or neither, but we'll see how we go. We could probably put Jimmy down. I'd probably put LA Knight down, put Solo down, put Seth Rollins down, put Sami Zayn down. I think we'll put. This is where it starts to get a little bit difficult. I think I'll put Finn Balor down. That would give us right there a nice 7. So we just really need to eliminate one person. I'll probably go Chad Gable on that because he's been in his own storylines and stuff. So out of those, I kind of believe that could be the 6 that make it into the match. Um, there's a few things that I would say, like, because that would be 3 from Raw and 3 from SmackDown if the rosters don't change. And I honestly think Braun Breaker wins the Money in the Bank this year. Again, no narrative thread other than just their storyline. We have nothing else to go on. So I'm just going to have to kind of guess to a certain extent, but I feel very confident that Braun Breaker is our Money in the Bank winner, and these 5 other men have a very good shot to make it in. And if you like these type of videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me in the comments below who you think is going to win Money in the Bank. Tell me if you guys are excited for Backlash, depending on when this video comes out. It should come out before Backlash. I'm personally going. I'm going to try maybe doing a little vlog or something. But yeah, just throw something down in the comments below, and I like to check them and reply to them. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.